Bernie Madoff died in federal prison in April of 2021. The 82-year-old, who is believed to have died of natural causes, was involved in one of the largest fraud schemes in U.S. history before being imprisoned. Madoff was sentenced to 150 years in prison in 2009 for running a pyramid scheme so extensive that only a few of his victims have recovered their entire losses. By 2020, the U.S. Department of Justice had returned approximately $3.2 billion to Madoff victims. Before we jump into the video, please subscribe to our channel, thank you. As a well-known financier, Madoff persuaded thousands of investors to hand over their savings in exchange for false promises of consistent profits. In December 2008, he was apprehended and charged with 11 counts of fraud, money laundering, perjury, and theft. Here's how Madoff defrauded his investors out of $65 billion while going unnoticed for decades. Ponzi schemes entice investors by promising unusually high returns. The term was coined by Charles Ponzi, a con artist who promised 50% returns on investments in 90 days and ended up serving a 14-year prison sentence in 1920 as a result of his scheme. Ponzi schemes are run by a central operator who uses funds from new, incoming investors to pay off the promised returns to older investors. This gives the operation the appearance of being profitable and legitimate, despite the fact that no actual profit is being made. Meanwhile, the person behind the scheme either keeps the extra cash or invests it in expanding the operation. Ponzi schemes encourage investors to stay in the game and earn even more money in order to avoid having too many investors reclaim their profits. The investing strategies employed are ambiguous and/or secretive, ostensibly to protect the schemer's business. Then all they have to do is tell investors how much money they're making on a regular basis, without actually providing any real returns. Ponzi schemes are rarely long-lasting. The setup eventually falls apart when the operator withdraws the remaining investment funds and flees. New investors become harder to find, implying that the flow of cash ceases, and too many current investors begin to withdraw and request their returns. In Madoff's case, things started to go wrong after clients demanded a total of $7 billion in returns. Unfortunately for Madoff, he only had $200 million to $300 million to distribute. Another reason Madoff was able to remain unnoticed for so long, despite multiple reports to the SEC about suspicions of a Ponzi scheme, was that he was a well-versed and active member of the financial industry. In 1960, he founded his own market maker firm and was instrumental in the establishment of the Nasdaq Stock Exchange. He served on the National Association of Securities Dealers Board of Directors and advised the Securities and Exchange Commission on securities trading. It was easy to believe the seasoned industry professional knew exactly what he was doing. According to CNN Money, Madoff really only got away with $20 billion, despite the fact that he cheated clients out of $65 billion on paper. That's little consolation for his thousands of investors. Other convictions related to Madoff's scheme followed the 150-year sentence, which was more symbolic than literal. Madoff's lawyers asked the judge to reduce the sentence to 7 years, then 12 years, due to Madoff's limited life expectancy at the time, but the judge refused. Madoff's crimes, according to the judge, were extraordinarily evil. Madoff requested compassionate release from prison last year, telling a judge that he had less than 2 years to live due to kidney disease. The request was turned down. Madoff was not the only one who faced legal consequences. 5 of Madoff's employees were found guilty of participating in the Ponzi scheme in 2014. David G. Freeling, Madoff's accountant and lawyer, faced a maximum sentence of 114 years in prison in 2009, but was later fined and sentenced to 1 year of house arrest and an additional year of supervised release instead. Other notable Ponzi schemes in history include Alan Stanford's, which stole $8 billion, and Tom Petter's, which defrauded investors of $3.7 billion. But, on a scale, Madoff wins by a landslide. What are your thoughts about Bernie Madoff? Please let us know down in the comments. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe to our channel, as it helps us a lot. Thank you.